Hey everybody, Old School Dirt Biker here, coming to you from the beautiful Tennessee River in Waterloo, Alabama, out for a late Saturday afternoon ride. Wanted to show you some of the beauty of the area. Everything in this area revolves around the Tennessee River. It is a unreal natural resource that we have close. I'm 17 miles from the house. Live a lot closer to that, but I just wanted to come down here close to my great uncle's cabin. Lives on the other side of that bridge up in the hole on Second Creek. Got a nice cabin he's had there since the 50s. But I'm going to take a ride and I want to put out a video challenge to everyone around here that maybe they can do a video response to what I'm wanting to say. I'm just wanting to ask everybody why they enjoy riding so much. What got them started, and why they love motorcycles. That was the game warden. Did y'all see that? He's coming to check fishing license. The Alabama Game and Fish guy. Okay, guys are probably getting ready to get their fishing license out. We're gonna ride along the river for a while. I'll talk. Right up in there, Second Creek. It's where my uncle's cabin. You can't see it, but it's way back in there. Okay, I want to put out the challenge to everybody do a video response of what got you hooked when you got hooked. You might have been old. I mean, you might have been in later stages when you got hooked. You might have got hooked when you was 4 years old like I did. I was born in 1968. My daddy bought me a three-wheeler of some sort. It had a Briggs & Stratton on the back of it and some orange fiberglass and like a chopper front end. I don't even know what it was, but I almost destroyed every car, everything around the house that could possibly be destroyed. I think I ran into it. Or Mama said I ran into it. It's a wonder I didn't kill myself. Well, after that fiasco of the little three-wheeler, he bought me a Honda Z50. This sold 7 billion of them Honda has. Still making the same motor almost today. 73, 74 model I got. It was a yellow one. And that hooked me. I mean, hook, line, and sinker. I was hooked on the motorcycles. That's all I thought about. Yeah, I rode it every day. Daddy had a big field pasture behind the house. Had a bunch of old junk cars because he dealt in cars and messed with them. And I had me a track around all the cars and motocross. I didn't even know I was doing motocrossing, but I sure had a track and trail all the way around it. Didn't have a clue what motocross was. He always rode Harleys. He didn't ride dirt bikes. Then he bought me a 76, 77 Honda XR75. Well, that's when I really started riding, understanding what was going on. And early 78, middle of 78, June, a couple weeks from now is when he died. He had a sudden heart attack, and then in 79 my mother got me a RM80, Suzuki RM80. That's when I started racing. Little motocrosses around, hair scrambles. Mama had a first cousin that had a son that was the same age as me, and me and him raced all over the place with Mama's first cousin. He raced enduros all over the southeast, and that's what got me started riding in the woods. Not really a motocrosser, never really have been. Like Woodsman said, he was a big motocrosser and started riding woods later. Well, started racing the RM80 and got into high school, and still I got my first dual sport bike I got was a 1981 Honda XL 185, and I rode that thing back and forth to school 17 miles one way, rode it. Just, that was my first dual sport purpose bike. People didn't know what dual sport was then. It was on off-road, whatever. Well, got in high school, football, baseball, playing everything, blah blah, girls, chasing the girls, truck, cars. Didn't ride a whole lot during high school, rode some. When I got out of high school at 18 years old, bought a Kawasaki KDX 200, and then it was on. I mean, I hooked up with my buddy. It was about 9 years older than me, 10 years older than me, and up in Tennessee. We started racing. He was a AA enduro rider, and we started racing. He was a KTM dealer, one of the backdoor KTM dealers that sold it out of his service station. You really didn't have to have a big giant shop to be a KTM dealer back then. You just had to buy like 4 or 5 new motorcycles and sell $2,000 or $3,000 worth of parts a year. I rode that KDX for 1 year, and this is a good story for anybody. I had a kid. I was a kid. I was 19 years old, but I had a kid that come to the race. It was in Kosciuszko, Mississippi, down around Jackson, Mississippi, and he was wearing me out before the race, just dying to buy my KDX. I don't know. I mean, just going crazy. He's like, my daddy's going to buy it. My daddy's going. You know how you always hear that 12, 14-year-old kid. She wasn't 6 years younger than me or so, and he's like, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. I said, man, I'm racing. I drove all the way down here to race. It's a national enduro. We're racing. He's like, okay. And then we come in for the gas stop. At the enduros, you have a gas stop about halfway through the race. I come in for the gas stop, and the kid was wearing me out, like, man, I want your bike, I want to buy it right now, whatever. I said, man, I'm halfway through the race, I gotta finish the race. And I was like, I thought I'd made him mad or whatever. And as soon as the race was over, he showed up down there at our camp. He showed up with $1,100 of his daddy with cash money in their hand, and they gave me $1,100, and that kid got on that motorcycle and took off in the woods, and I didn't even have to bring a motorcycle home. When I got home, I was still living at home with Mama, and Mama was like, where's your motorcycle? I was like, I sold it. So that was that, and that got me started on the KTM, because my buddy was a KTM dealer, and I bought an 87, brand new 87 KTM 250 EXC. And from then on, it was raced. We raced all over the southeast. We raced 23, 25. One time we raced 25 weekends in a row. Never raced in the same state twice. Just every weekend we had a van, pulled a trailer, and we just went. Other people would go with us too, but it was mostly me and him. Fun days, young, still do it, still riding hard. Went from a C rider in 86 to an A rider in 89. Got my E class. Bumped up to A rider. And then got married in 91. Had kids. Raced. Still raced. One of these days, I don't know if I done said it, but I will get a list of all the motorcycles I've bought since 86 up to now. And boy, I've got a good wife, because you would not believe how many motorcycles I've bought. Basically, from the time we got married in 91, which I started back in 86, I bought a new motorcycle, or an almost new motorcycle, mostly new every year up through 2011. And she put up with it. I still raced. And I just me and my buddies, all we do is talk about riding, racing, working on bikes, parts, ripping on each other, kind of like Tanker Man rips on everybody. It makes fun. If you're going to hang around with us, you better have a thick skin. You better have a thick skin, because you are going to get it. all the time. But I slowed down back in about 2011. You know, I hit about 43, 44 years old, and I couldn't keep up with the young guys anymore. And had been started riding vintage bikes. Started racing modern bikes, which we call these, or my new KTM, call it a modern bike, and a vintage bike. Started riding Hodakas. If any of you even know what a Hodaka is, I rode a Hodaka. So, and then I bought me a, when I decided I was going to do a lot of the vintage racing all the time, I went back and bought me a 1984 KDX 200 again, and went back to my youth. Bought the bike I had, or almost the same bike I had, just like it, and raced the far out of that thing. I forgot how much fun it was working on them, and how crappy them old drum brake crappy motorcycles were. I mean, they were hard, they'd get you hurt. But this is, I just want to put it out, if any of y'all want to explain what y'all done, how you started riding. Did you take it up late in life? Did you take it up young? I just wanted to put out the video response and see if anybody will answer it. Hope you enjoyed the cruise along the Tennessee River. I'm getting back on up here close, getting ready to turn to go to the house. And I just want you to think about it, and if you can, put out a response. If you don't. But if you like anything I've said it in a hurry, just off the top of my head. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It don't matter. Subscribe if you like what I say. I got more coming. Maybe I'll get better at this talking. Better let you go. This is Old School Dirt Biker, out on the road.